Okay, hello everybody. This is Lucen0 here, and this is my thing guide from someone who's way too obsessed with him and trying to squeeze out as much use of him as possible. I'm sure you're going to find something here that's going to be useful or something you didn't know in this video just because I crammed a lot in. I also made a small little thing edit if you wanted to watch that. It's in here. I just felt like adding it. If you don't like watching the edit, there's timestamps. You can just skip right past it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave me a comment if you think I missed something. I probably did. I had way too much footage to scrub through. And let's get into it.
People treat you like a monster, but you just keep fighting to save them.
I've got thick skin, kid. Words bounce right off me. Luckily, so do bullets. It ain't about what your fist is made of, kid. It's how you use it. Family always comes first, even when it's Johnny. That's how we do it on Yancey Street. Who needs metal when you got solid stone? Fair warning, unlike my wrestling days, I won't be pulling any punches. I promise you, somewhere under all this rock is a heart of gold.
Okay, starting off with who is the Thing. The Thing is basically a bruiser for frontline who specializes in brawl comps and occasionally singling out someone for brutal clobbering. So, the general game plan you want to be doing is cycling being up in the front line in the neutral zone, kind of, cautiously keeping the enemy at bay, while at the same time building up your ult charge. But you have to know when you want to jump out when things are getting a little bit too hot, or when your team is moving out. You also kind of want to be pretty patient in making sure you just make an opportunity for your teammates to get a good pick, if possible. While this is all happening, you want to bide your time to look out for the cracks enemy team and either smash them out yourself with heavy hits and combos, or set them up for teammates to get the finishing blows on them. Some extra general tips to keep in mind are that you want to be spaced up with your teammates or a specific partner in order so you can exchange damage reduction with them and you. It helps them out a lot, gives you assists and all that, and also be wary of enemies on hard to reach high ground. It's kind of annoying. If you have someone like a Venom or a Psylocke or a Thor to like kind of jump up there, you can catch up a ride with them. I also want to mention that solo ulting someone is perfectly fine. It can really turn the tide of the battle if you just get like an individual person, especially if you're communicating with them. Like for example, even if you're not the one getting the kill, but you teeing it up for your teammates can help them finish them off. Especially if the enemy team like use their defense abilities to try to like counteract you. But then they have nothing else for themselves to stop them from not dying to your teammates' abilities, like a teammate ult or something like that. Something I wanted to add for solo ult is that you can block off people from getting their heals from support ults, as shown here. I block off the Magneto from getting the cloak ult. This also works with like supports like Invisible Woman. If they're just at the edge of the ult, you can kind of like now come back and pause them for getting more heals. As you can see, all these people were not able to get the Cloak's ult, and then go back and just off the rest of them. Squirrel Girl, she's basically alone. Cloak, no ult left, no people to defend them. They all just go down. Okay, so moving on to a quick rundown of his abilities, just to be thorough. First off, it's important to know that due to Unyielding Will, he cannot be moved, but can still be stunned and slowed. His primary is a set of 2 punches, which are technically his fastest damage over time. Haymaker, which pierces enemies with big damage, generates overshield, and knocks down flying enemies out the air. Yancey Street Charge, which gives you 200 health immediately on cast, lets you start dashing through, and charges instead of dealing 30 damage and 20 for the slam. The slam also puts down a field that prevents movement abilities and does a little bit of tick damage twice, I believe. There's also the Embattled Leap, which tries to catch you up with someone with a leap carrying some momentum. It also gives you and the ally damage reduction for 3 seconds, or it lets you jump towards an enemy. Be cautious of its short range of just 20 meters. His ult, Clobbering Time, which makes a big shockwave of 100 damage and stuns people for 2.5 seconds. Importantly, he also has 3 team-ups. It's a lot for some characters. None of which are really needed, but they're all nice or fun. First, his cooperative comrades with Invisible Woman, which he shares with the other Fantastic Four, which generates 100 overhealth over 5 seconds. Cosmic Fastball, where he throws Wolverine and activates the Berserker Claws. It's also a good way to get like some jump on people if you kind of throw him and then jump to him. And last but not least, there's the flying thing, where the Human Torch picks you up and you both start flying at high speeds, and he drops you down. The drop down actually only does like the 30 damage of the slam, but it also does the 2 ticks of the 15 damage, which does the immobilizing. It's really useful in some situations. Another thing to keep in mind for the thing is you want to go into the settings, go into character settings for the thing, go down to hold to dash, and turn that on. That will allow it so that you can instantly just tap the button and he will slam. Otherwise, it's going to take like a half a second to like activate it, stop, and then do the slam. It's just very important to do your combos quick, and also allowing you to turn it off when you need it. Okay, so moving on to how do you actually want to physically playing the thing. As mentioned before, in the neutral game you want to take advantage of the thing's self-sustain for his abilities to hold the line. When enemies are clumped together, you want to use the Haymaker to get over health and alt charge. Try your best to use cover and just peek out to unleash the Haymaker. This should help to keep you topped off and let healers have an easier time getting you up to full HP, and cutting down the time your enemies get to build up their ult charge that they would be getting from damaging you. You should be keeping the pressure on the enemies, which should encourage them to use their defensive cooldowns, thus giving great opportunity for your teammates to take them out. Make sure to keep an eye out for enemies your teammates have damaged critically, so you can do a sneaky finishing blow with your Haymaker. However, sometimes it is good to break through and single out someone just to put a little bit of extra pressure, or unleash one of your combos on one of their squishies just to blow them up before they get the chance to even think. Okay, so moving on to the combo guide. The way I look at combos with the thing is, I Haymaker until I get someone in that kill range. Once I get someone there, it's a matter of how I can use my ability safely to eliminate the remaining HP. Think the enemy kind of like a grocery bag you're trying to break quickly. Which groceries can you put in the bag to break it as effectively as possible? Bigger bags need more groceries, bigger groceries need more time to move. You can't break the bag in time, you gotta pull out, reset when you have your cooldowns, and get healed back up. Okay, so shown on the screen right now are the individual numbers for all the things' moves, just as a refresher. So, putting these together, some certain combos I like to use are the Haymaker, primary set, which equals 260 damage. And it's pretty good with any 250 health character, and it's if you don't want to use cooldowns / you don't have them up in the first place, but they are still in your face. Another combo I like to use, which kind of is like your burstiest quick set of things, would be Haymaker, the dash and slam with the ticks that come into it, plus the 2 sets of primaries, which equals to 310 if you don't count the ticks, like if they magically moved out the way, but if you do count them, it goes all the way up to 325 and 340. A lot of people probably have less health than that, so it helps, compensate for people getting healed and just making sure like they're dead. Like if this is a 250 or 275, you bump into Luna or Adam, they're dead with this. But even without the ticks, like it still should do the job. It doesn't kill anybody like play the Punisher or Mr. Fantastic, Blade. It wouldn't kill them with that. They would still most likely survive. Something else, if you want to really throw out some extra health, like it's like a tank, or just someone that just keeps on getting healed, would be like Haymaker, dash slam with the ticks, then primary. Those 2 sets of primaries at the end help like finish off people. There's a lot of times where, as you can see here, they're at like 1 health, and charging up the Haymaker and missing it is detrimental, and if they're right in your face, you might as well just do the punch. It's pretty confirmable. For characters that are like really immobile and you're in a safe spot due to like their speed, another combo is just the Haymaker, primary. Does this amount of damage, and if it's for someone that's really immobile, you're a safe spot, it's just really good to use because of the speed of the primary punches. And then for some extra clarity for visual learners, here's like a fighting game style flowchart. Okay, so just want to be more clear about this part. The reds are the Haymakers, the green is the slam, the white is the ultimate, the blue is the single set of punch, so that's 80 in total, and these little half greens are the ticks that come from the slam. So basically, If you do this, you get this much damage. If you get the ticks from this combo, you get this. Do this combo like this with no ticks, it'll just be this number. It'll keep on climbing. If you get one tick, it's a 335, and two ticks, 3. Same thing with this. And it's also like makes it matchable. Like you can kind of start with a haymaker, alt, then do the slam. That'll still get you to 240, and then from there you can go 320, 320, 320. That's especially helpful if you're gonna hit something that might be able to move out of your like hits afterwards. So going haymaker, alt, slam, punch, or haymaker, also a good alternative. Another smaller combo that I think is really helpful is just haymaker, dash slam, primary. Technically, without the ticks, it only does 220 damage, which isn't gonna kill anybody if they're full health. But this is good, like if someone's kind of like just chipped on a little bit, when your teammates had a little damage ability, they haven't gotten healed up all the way. You can use this to like quickly take them out. And technically, with the ticks, it does 250. But I don't want you to think they're always gonna get hit by the 2 ticks. So this is good, like, you know, occasionally, like, you know, a Venom slam down on somebody, like that's like a Luna Snow or another 250 healer like Adam or something. You can really use it to just take them out real fast if they have no cooldowns and they're not expecting you to unleash 3 things on them. Okay, so moving on to good matchups. Okay, I really want you guys to understand this straight up. A lot of his matchups suck if you have far range. But if you can safely close the gap with a leap or like a torch team up, it gets a lot more favorable. Some good victims are speedrun time, Cloak and Dagger after they bubble, Invisible Woman if you can track their punch, Haymaker generously is just going to help you find it, Mantis if you can dodge asleep, and Ultron if he's just really dumb. You can just punch him out the air. DPS wise, Panthers are just a piece of cake if your sensitivity is really high. You just keep a good eye out for them for your supports, and they're good. If they ping them, that's extra help. Your slam stops all of his abilities from working, except for like the spear, but his spear by himself isn't going to do much. Magics shut down their portals and the dashes. Scarlet Witch, literally if you just watch and follow her after her 2 phases, track her down, she's dead. Star-Lord, just slam him down. He can't dodge any of your abilities without his flight, and also even if he spins, he still takes the damage. It doesn't give him damage reduction, just makes him harder to hit. Haymakers are going to hit him. Okay, so I might sound crazy here, but for Hela and Punisher, they both kind of fall in this sweet spot where they get absolutely bodied if you can get in their face well enough, but they will make your life a living hell if they keep shooting you from afar. So avoid letting a Punisher get through the ban phase overall, just because a lot of people play him and will just spray damage with his ult or something else. Hela, she's not as common, but equally as annoying if they're really good. Tank-wise, Doctor Strange and Mag, you can just punch straight through their shields, it doesn't really matter. Try your best to kite through their damage so they don't build up ult charge on you, or do it. Okay, so here are the back matchups that kind of come to mind. So support-wise, Jeff and Rocket, because you really just can't catch them. However, both of their ults are very manageable. Jeff can't really throw you, at best he can die with you. And for Rocket's amplifier, just do your melees. Just keep on punching it. It does the highest amount of damage, it's not going to run away. And you usually have enough health to survive beating it up. Adam's kind of annoying with all his cooldowns. It's going to take ages to kill him. Loki clones are really annoying because it takes at least 2 haymakers or a haymaker and a punch. But the thing is, by the time you do all that, they're probably going to fade away in a second anyway. Best you got is maybe doing some damage if someone else is doing AoE to it. It's worth the punch, but it's not going to give you not much leverage. Luna's annoying to kill because her freeze and she can just like run away. Her freeze also just ruins your ult. So you just lose half of it because she like threw it in time. Damage-wise, Black Widow, she can easily run away from you. Hawkeye does a crazy damage from afar, and he'll also try to reflect half of your punches. Like, it looks like you're going to be able to kill him, but then you don't. Iron Fist does good damage to you, and his block really can't be muscled through. Iron Man gets annoying, but if you can knock him down, it's pretty manageable. Phoenix just does a lot of free damage to you. And also her dash makes it hard for you to get her, because you punch her, but then she dashes, and it's not a real her. And then she explodes, but stacks on you. It's just a hassle. And then her lift isn't a cooldown, so even if you drop her, she'll just lift herself up again. Namor squids, they're annoying, but he can be easily killed if you just wait for his bubble to pop. It's just get used to the timing to like unleash the haymaker as he comes out, but still be very cautious of those squids. Psylocke and Squirrel Girl, well, they'll just whoop your butt. I hate Squirrel Girl. Her Acorn Stun is just horrible. It'll cancel your ult, it'll just keep you in place, and everybody's just gonna look at you. You can't do a DR dash, like a DR jump or your dash if you can't move. So you can't use any of those abilities. And Salak's just gonna get ult charge off on you. Tank-wise, Emma's just kind of bad to deal with because you'll feed her little brain blast thing. You kind of be your best, if you need to be using the thing, your best chance is just to kind of kite away from her and just avoid her building up those stacks. I will say, whenever she goes diamond form, pay attention for the dash, like the grab, because you can dash out of her grab and waste her cooldown. Root walls, they're very hard for you to take down, and they'll do crazy damage to you, so avoid him. Venom's kind of like hard to pick off. The best you can do is like scare him off your backline. So map-wise, you want to use Thing in small narrow maps to take advantage of his short bursty movement and his piercing haymakers. If they're all clumped around for each other, it's going to be easier for you to do the damage. The good maps, in my opinion, that I just personally like is Tokyo 2099, Midtown, Hell's Haven, Wakanda the Domination version, Celestial Husk, like the new Clintar map, and excuse my French here, Yggdrasil Domination. Some bad maps are like the open ones that are really easy for the enemies, like spread out, run away, scatter. Like they separate, you chase after one person, and then another person has a chance to just look at you from afar and kind of take you off. You try to jump to them, and someone else is getting you. It also is like really inconvenient for like the long range shooters like Hela, the Punisher, stuff like that. So the ones that kind of like lump into this category are like Arako in certain parts, Yggdrasil Siege, the Krakoa map, like 100%. That even though it's a domination, it's very open, and then Clintar Siege. Those maps are very like pretty open chunks in certain areas, and just in general, like the offense of Clintar specifically, it's a hassle to get up there. Like you are just gonna get shot for it. Closing things up, overall the Thing is about being an annoying movable object that you shouldn't ignore, or else he's gonna chip you down and pound out your supports. You just need to be conscious of the enemy team and who potentially can counter you and make you ineffective. Sometimes it just isn't a great map from, or sometimes your team needs a different piece of utility. There's definitely a lot of fun niches he fills dealing with enemies, and overall it's just a super fun and satisfying Vanguard to play. I hope you guys had a good time watching this guide, and thank you so much for staying till the end. Any questions, just feel free to write a comment. I'm happy to help out with that. But yeah, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a nice day down there on Earth. See you next time.